Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, you mean?
Uh-oh.
I have a new one for you.
A new one, what?
I got a new sound. I sent a new sound bite.
Oh, you do?
Yeah. You and Piper heard it earlier today. Mike hasn't heard it yet.
I haven't.
Yeah. Here you go.
Ah!
Yeah.
Oh. Now Piper's pulled her dick out. Look at that.
What?
Oh, look,
It's right there.
Yeah, it's right there on the screen.
Look at that thing. It's huge with its big old fucking pop filter. Oh.
Oh my God. Oh, jeez. It was seriously like, how? They're all in a box.
Patty says, day 16 of my isolation, I made apple crisp. Good job. I think you're 2 days over your isolation, by the way. I'll let you know.
Unmuted like a coward.
Yeah, what a coward! If you blow your ears out or don't be a wuss. I mean, come on.
My back is itchy.
Captain Fuckhead says, "Hail 0.5." That's about all we deserve.
Yeah, not even graded. You just take it for granted.
Exactly. So here we are here today to discuss what we announced last week, and kind of go into the process of what we did, how we got here, and talk about some of the recent things we've been doodling around with. So, as was explained last week, this all started back August last year. We were just screwing around and promoting door kickers. Yeah, we were screwing around promoting door kickers, right? That's what we were.
I mean, I think that's very serious. Not just screwing around, but
super serious.
I was being sarcastic. We were trying to help you make some money.
What the fuck?
Exactly. But no, yeah, we were doing. So we were having some, doing that, having some fun. We started talking about comics in general, as is wont to do, and then we brought up like, oh, you know what? Deconstruction of superheroes is stupid.
It dumb.
Mandy says I sound like I'm talking through the Iron Man suit.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. What are you gonna do? I mean, it could be worse places to be than Iron Man suit, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Piper has a mullet.
Oh.
It's not a mullet. It's a side cut.
It's a mohawk.
Yeah, it's that.
When you butcher your hair like that, people are apt to say things.
True.
I know. I just fixed it though, because that's what it is. It's a mohawk.
And so, in that, after the stream, we kind of talked about it, and I think we DM'd about it a little bit here and there, and then it became what we've got today.
Yeah, I mean, for my part, hanging out with you guys that night, and then what did we talk like about 2 hours after the chat was over with?
Mm-hmm.
That was really my first time to get to know you guys, and I just felt like there was a good energy on the stream, and then we clicked really well off afterwards, and we had a lot of the same. I mean, Comicsgate has a lot of the same ideas generally, but specifically, I think we were speaking the same language on the kind of things. And if I remember correctly, she really was born out of that conversation. She being Peregrine. Was born out of that conversation that we had directly after the show. And then, of course, we went and kept it a secret from Piper for the next 6 months.
What holes?
Hey. I mean, that just shows how tight-lipped we could be.
Well, it's
that is good. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, hey, should we tell the chick about this chick hero, especially since she has experience working in comics and this and that? Nah.
We did it old school. Why let the women mess up the female superheroes? That's what happens when Gail Simone and all those people get a hold of them. They ruin female superheroes.
But I hate them people.
I know. I mean, we shouldn't have been prejudiced against you because of your chromosomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We apologize a little bit.
A little bit.
Mea culpa.
So yeah, I'm just oh crap. I can't do anything right tonight.
I thought at first, Mandy put in the chat, Peregrine looks amazing, y'all. I'm a promo the effing out of it. I thought she said I'm a porno the F out of it. I was like, what? What?
Oh,
Damn.
That's a new
based.
level of cosplay.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of cosplay, I need to talk to you about something after this.
Oh, hold up. Yeah, Yellow Lantern. I am only Gale if I wrote it, fucked it up, and am fat.
Based.
Oh, and a bitch. So
And red pilled.
Hey now. She's making peace offerings. Everybody, she just wants to have the truce.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have a ceasefire.
yeah. Right.
Mm-hmm.
She's seen all those questions she got and all that bad publicity that gave her.
Yep. But yeah, that was I don't talk about that.
Let's talk about a better girl. Let's talk about our Jessica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about it, Piper? You're like the late comer.
Oh, I already liked Jessica. She wasn't written typical, I guess would be a good word. I don't know.
That's a good way to put it.
She wasn't written like, huge focus on TNA and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which I don't mind in comics. Although, in superhero comics, one thing that always kind of bugged me a little bit was like, especially in the Teen Titans comic, like there was nothing about friggin' Starfire that was teen to me.
Well, I mean,
maybe some personality, but it was still like, it would be cool to have, some variety. So they're not all of like that.
So the interesting thing about her was the first time I read Teen Titans was the X-Men Teen Titans crossover book. I don't know if you guys ever read that.
I read it. Yeah.
It's excellent, and I just I got the impression that she was like a 7-year-old with the body of a porn star.
Yeah.
Well, she's also very. Like I said,
it depends on who's writing her though, because some wrote her really good.
I remember I read Crisis on Infinite Earths. That's where I kind of got my first introduction to Starfire. And she came up. The first thing she says, she runs into her father or something like that from Tamarin, and she goes, "Oh, hello, father. Here is my lover, Nightwing."
Okay.
and Dick's got this look on his face like, "Hi, how you doing?" So we already got people in the chat demanding their bird book. See.
I didn't express it well, or maybe I didn't use a good example. But basically, I kind of liked that it was more subtle in the way it was written, in the way the design was already going, kind of. In fact, I was the one that was kind of like, needs more boobs, you guys.
So yeah, I think that's kind of an interesting point. I mean, when we designed her, outwardly she's designed to be very appealing, especially to the male gaze, which is, let's be honest with you. People who buy comics are mostly guys, but when you read the story, and Piper, I know you've connected with the story, she is way more real in the pages than just the TNA, classic superhero. Yeah,
she's that's what I liked, is she looks more classic superhero, but she acts more like a real person.
Yeah.
And not like these soap opera people that they're trying to write now either. But not the overly over the top anything people from, way back. So I really liked that balance, and I would love to wear that outfit. So, I would expect that other chicks would like it too.
Yeah, right. No, I think that her outfit is really cool, and we definitely gotta say thank you to Doug. I mean, he just really knocked it out of the park with his first real stab at that costume. I think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think by now everybody's seen the turnaround art that he did.
So what I want to show is this other piece that you've had done.
Oh yeah, Ian's piece that he did. He's my door kickers artist. I just hit him up and said, "Hey, I'm doing this other book. Would you be interested in doing like a pinup for it?" And he was all over it, especially when I told him I would pay him. And so and his art style, in a way, I think it lends itself to this kind. Even more so than some of the the door kickers military stuff. Because he doesn't have to draw as much gear, and he's you don't have all that stuff getting in the way.
Plus, he also gets to maintain the long-lasting tradition of artists just drawing naked people and then scribbling on them.
That's right.
Right, and then just drawing their clothes on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this looks like it almost looks like he had fun drawing it just by looking at it.
Well, I mean, I recommend you guys check out his Instagram. I mean, he's done a lot of the female superheroes on both the Marvel and DC side, and that's really the stuff that made me think about him. Like, I knew he wouldn't be able to do like a full thing for us, but a pinup here or there, we might be able to get him to do something else if we need anything else. But still, I thought he was this is a great piece of promo art to kind of get the word out about the book, and I'm just really happy with it.
I do also want to add before we move too far away from it, because male gaze keeps being talked about every time we talk about hot chick characters. But I've said this before on that other stream, actually. Chicks don't want to look at ugly chicks.
No.
People don't want to look at ugly people. Let's be honest with you.
I was like, I want to look like chicks that I want to look like.
Can I
something like that? You know what I mean?
Can I do it? Can I do it?
What?
Just say yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
But yeah, exactly though. Like, even if the writing was good on current like Marvel stuff, the characters aren't nice to look at least not the girls.
Yeah,
they're not like nice to look at, and that's not nice for me to look at, and I'm fairly straight.
There's this tendency to. It's one thing for some heroes to look plain, I mean, because girls come in all kinds of shapes, right?
Yeah. Plain, I don't mind. It's when they flat out make them
like
ugly,
especially
or
these
like
kind of
dudes.
we're gonna have some heavier, superheroes. No, they're superheroes. They wouldn't be heavy. They have discipline. It's kind of like saying, well, let's have heavier pro soccer players. Well, how many of those pro soccer players on the women's Olympic team that want a pay raise, how many of them are fat? None of them are.
Well, I mean, if you're going to be an anything like that, even if you start out big, you're going to stop being big pretty fast. Yeah.
That's right.
An Angry Green Boss says, "Oh God, She-Hulk was repaid by terrible artists.
They did her dirty."
Yeah, don't even get me started.
That's literally what happened. Is the writer wanted Hulk. They said, you can't have Hulk. You can have She-Hulk. He's like, okay, I make her Hulk.
Yep.
Well, what's funny is somebody posted in my Twitter, like, this girl on the beach, and she was like a female bodybuilder, and she wasn't like one of the Leaf ones, but she was like a bulky female bodybuilder. And even she still, with all those bulging muscles that she had, even she still retained feminine, like cues,
Yeah,
she was not mannish.
You don't suddenly get a man's body. You still keep a woman's shape.
Yeah.
There's like no getting out of that almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we were trying to avoid here. We want how's the best way to put it? I don't want to say like everybody, you know, everybody's got to look sexy, but everybody's got to look good.
Well, I think
You
our whatever, the little green lizard guy
Little green lizard guy. What?
says it really good. A plain superhero should look like Kitty Pryde when she was first introduced.
Yeah.
She wasn't ugly. She just wasn't drop dead gorgeous.
Well, she was also like 14.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And the other thing too is how many movies have you seen where they cast ugly or even plain? As much as we all don't like Brie Larson, I mean, she's not it's almost her actions that make her look ugly, not her physicality.
She's got
So
physical attractiveness.
Yeah.
She's physically, not a good looking woman. It's just, it's almost,
it's ugly on the inside.
and it somehow carries over because,
Yeah, they had her look plain, but they also made her an unlikable person in general.
well, she made her an unlikable person.
They made her character pretty unlikable too.
Well, I mean, they've been doing that for like past 5 years, for Marvel. They've been kind of doing that,
I liked all the other characters.
Mo Biggs in the chat has it right. They're superheroes. They're not supposed to look like average people. If you want to draw average people as the stars, then do a different genre. Yeah, like the Friends comic that they're going to do for Image.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, my God. They're doing a Friends comic?
Ugh.
It's not even Friends. It's like generic Friends.
So it's just rip off Friends.
Mike.
Yeah.
Cab Theorem. Theorem.
Oh, God.
Scott, to explain to you what Cab Theorem is, our friend Cab he came up with this a long time ago, and it has held true so far that most writers these days, especially comic book writers, don't know how social interactions actually work with real people because they were raised on TV. So all of their social interactions came from Friends. That's why you see superheroes eating coffee, drinking coffee, eating donuts, going to the bathroom and pooping and all this other stuff because they think that's how the real world works.
When in fact, it's really about nothing.
Yeah, exactly. It should be more Seinfeld and less Friends. Yeah.
Then you have all these people like waiting for like laugh cues and talking awkwardly, and it's really strange when you get to talk to one of those people. Because one conversation I heard described was that they kind of sarcastically insulted somebody, and they waited for a little bit, like waiting for people to laugh, and there were only two people there.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a peculiar mindset.
It's kind of like, you remember they when those memes that got on for Big Bang Theory, where they said, here is Big Bang Theory, but only if one person was laughing. You got them. They go through it and they do their punchlines, and you hear just one going, ha, 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 ha. And it's pathetic, right?
Yeah,
you kind of realize how unfunny Big Bang Theory actually is, right? So,
I've seen one version of that where they took Big Bang Theory and just removed all the laugh cues.
mm-hmm.
It's just not the same. Even with the laugh cues, I wasn't able to even fucking watch it after that point. I'm like, what the fuck is this bullshit?
Yeah.
Ugh.
I don't know. I gave up on that kind of stuff a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like an actual funny show doesn't need laugh cues. It just needs to fire off the funny things and keep going without those pauses.
You remember some of the better comedies in the day didn't have like audience laugh tracks.
Yeah.
So,
Mandy reminds me by posting in the chat. She posted a link to the mailing list. We finally got the mailing list for the Indiegogo page up and running.
Yep. She is doing her. She is.
She's doing the work, the Lord's work.
Doing the Lord's work. It is in the chat. It is also in the description below. It is all over my Twitter account right now. And you will be seeing more of it. This was going to be a daily thing. I'm trying to generate enough people.
Yeah, there it is again.
Tap that mailing list.
Yeah, we've got 30 people in the chat. So let's if you guys haven't signed up, I mean, no harm, no foul.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you guys will be passing up if you decide not to do it is opportunity for exclusive offer through the campaign.
Yeah.
And you know, Optimus, we haven't touched on that, but do we have some ideas of what it could be?
Yeah, I think so. One of the ideas, like, you know, we looked at some stuff today. I'm really digging this Comicsgate phenomenon that's been going on with trading cards.
Yeah.
And I would really think it would be cool, not only to like do a thing where we have a perk or maybe a perk or a stretch goal for trading cards, but also to have something Piper mentioned would be one exclusive where you very rare would get it. You'll be, like a random, you got like this nice, like like a foil style, card that, only like maybe only 5 people would get at random, I think.
Yeah, the name's probably chosen at random for who gets what, maybe.
Yeah.
Well, the other thing I like that we saw bear some fruit for Ethan was incentivizing people in that early period by, having a 24 or 48 hour limited offer.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea too. Like for 24 hours, like you only have access to a cover for 24 hours or something like that. Yes, smash that like button, everybody who's here, if you don't mind. Yeah. Help us defeat Al Gore and his rhythm. Because that's what everybody thinks about. But yeah. So we were talking, we got the image on the screen right now. And one thing we were talking about, the things that have been going on today has been kind of going over the color scheme.
The results of the poll.
Yeah. So first, let's bring this up. These are, of course, flats. Give me a second. Copy.
Yeah, this was supposed to announce which one won the poll.
Yeah.
We never officially announced yet.
We're basically.
We pulled that tweet up?
See, now you're.
And show the results.
God bless you. Make me work.
I mean, you are the host.
Well, you should have.
We are all guests. Even Piper.
Y'all are. These other two are co-hosts.
We're supposed to do things here.
You, I'm allowing. Telling me you, Scott, I'll allow leeway, but the other two are co-hosts.
What?
So what you're saying is Piper should have been like, "Oh, I've already got it pulled up. You can share my screen."
Exactly. She should have been reading your mind to read my mind.
Nice, Piper.
Yeah. Yeah, Piper. Always your fault.
Damn it.
Now I got to dig through her. Her myriad of tweets about coronavirus and try to find the damn
toilet paper. And...
when they do that thing where you got like the different thing where you can do like images and things like that. She have one for polls because Piper don't do many, so it wouldn't be too hard to find.
Yeah, that would be a lot nicer.
How far back are we? 10 hours. God bless. When did we do that?
Oh wow. Last week.
Friday? Was it Friday?
Yeah, look at her under her media.
Yeah.
Because she posted those
pictures.
That's
right. She did post a picture.
Yeah, and then
that's gonna come on.
I haven't posted too much media since then.
Okay.
You posted all those selfies you took.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Damn.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. There we go. Took 26 images to get to the poll.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah, there was the ones with Lobo.
Okay.
And freaking Cider High passed it.
I'm sure he's like, here it is. What's wrong with you people?
Well, shit.
All right, so it's on the screen.
Yep.
Okay. So as you know, we did a poll the other day, and then we had these choices. We had A, B, C, and D. And I mean, honestly, B had a bit of an advantage because it is more of the final costume.
Yeah.
So
I did say ignore the costume design and only
right.
Look
Well,
at the colors.
Don't pay attention.
Yeah.
Well, really, only her drawers are different.
Yeah. Everything else is pretty much the same. Now look at this hair's breadth.
What's the difference? What's the separation on that, Piper?
0.3%.
Yeah, Piper would have to go look at the
0.3%.
The actual vote, I think, is literally one vote.
Yeah.
Because
I think it was the one vote difference.
Because 288 people voted, and we thank you all for voting, by the way. Everybody voted.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, that's it.
But like near the end, C started catching up with B.
C was doing, and people are commenting why a lot of them were saying why they picked what they picked.
Mm-hmm.
That people were starting to sell me on C.
Yeah.
But I was like,
go back up to the pictures. See, I mean, I think C is good. It's overall it's darker. The biggest difference is the lack of pink around the boot window and on the boots, and then the drawers are white on B versus gray on C. So I mean, I think it's good. I mean, one of my personal favorites. I really like that yellow and gray one for D, but I think B is just a stronger design overall.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. It's lighter. There's a bit more white.
Yeah.
That kind of helps kind of scream, this is a good guy, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then also the white on the chest gives for better kind of contrast with the skin tone.
The pink was just, I thought from the beginning it was a little too much.
I was actually surprised that it got as many votes as it did.
Yeah.
Well, that just goes to show you these are all strong, designs. I mean, none of them are bad.
Right. But yeah, that's.
And who knows? Maybe one of these designs will show up. Maybe this color scheme will show up in a later version. Because as girls are wont, she will probably change her mind down the road.
Yeah. And I should add that this, even though B won, there was a lot of suggestions for B that are being taken into consideration. And
yeah, especially ones that like a lot of people would repeat.
Yeah.
It would either be the only reason they didn't pick B or they like B, but
yeah.
And I agreed with a lot of them.
So let's show them kind of where we went. And this is with the B color scheme without much changes.
Right.
Okay.
Those are granny panties. They're boy shorts.
I was going to say they're booty shorts, hot pants.
They're pretty good, is what they are.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So this is Farrah based on the winning one. This is Farrah, our colorist's first take on Ian's drawing. So these are just color flats. This is kind of the first step that she would do. Before she does a full on, rendered out colored version. And if you guys have seen any of her colors on Door Kickers, you know that she's a talented colorist. She's also doing those College of the Dead, and she did what's Super Harem. So she's a accomplished colorist within Comicsgate now.
I should also mention, of course, because Vada Post watches this later, she also did College of the Dead graduation day.
I said
You said that.
I didn't hear it, so I'm sorry.
Well,
You gonna need some Q-tips, old man?
My knee is fucking hurting. Don't get me on me right now.
My knee hurts. I can't hear shit.
You ever been in like so mind-numbing pain that you just like tune out the rest of the
Yes, that's fucking
All right,
it still sounds funny.
All right, shut up. The men are talking.
Yeah, I am assuming that like none of these people have actually seen granny panties.
These are not granny panties.
Yeah, if granny panties would go up to her belly button.
And they would probably go down to her knees too.
Yeah.
In all honesty. Well, depending on the granny panties. There's different styles.
These are basically if Daisy Dukes were built into the fucking thing.
See,
yeah.
See, how come the women have to explain to you men? What?
Right? Oh, that are panties.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. You're thinking of pantaloons.
Pantaloons are the ones that go down to the knee, but granny panties are just panty shape on the bottom, kind of, but they still go up to the fucking
belly button.
Belly button.
I kind of live with that one. That's a good. They look like volleyball shorts. I can get that.
Yeah.
So my first thought on these shorts is, and I think we used it for the practice suit, was the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu female like MMA shorts. They're kind of like a real short shorts, but tight.
Yeah.
And even though we showed it on the original model sheet, we really haven't showed people the practice uniform much. So I can't wait till they get a good look at that. That's in all of its states of disarray that it finds itself throughout the story.
Yeah. I'm just kind of looking through the chat. Like, I don't like thongs on women. I like something shapes up the ass. That's kind of what we were going with.
Yeah.
Because
my thinking too was that the other style is so done and done and done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the panty style.
Yeah, the basically the
Bathing
swimsuit
suit,
style. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
was like, it would be nice to make it at least a little bit different, make it its own thing.
Because we were we were originally going with a bathing suit, style, and then I don't know where it came from. Might have been you, Scott, who said, like, how about like kind of a boy shorts?
Well, yeah, I said it, and then Piper, didn't you say, yeah, those are more comfortable anyway?
Yeah.
So I mean,
way less wedgie potential there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they don't clamber up as much, unfortunately.
Yeah, it won't climb up in her bits.
There will be no climbing up into the holes.
Yeah, so it actually it makes more sense to fight in
into the
to
cracks.
want to move around in basically in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you think about a skirt? I did not want to. We didn't want to invoke Supergirl, in all honesty, because that's kind of what she's known for.
Yeah.
Well, and the other kind of skirt that I think is cool are some of those variants on the Wonder Woman, where it's kind of like the what is it? The Greek kind of. It's not a skirt, but it's more like the pieces, like the armor pieces that are draped down over the hips. I mean, I think that'd be cool too. But
yeah,
there's a lot more little things to draw on your naked lady there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but see, that one's gotten popular, so that's why I didn't really think
I always liked the way Alex Ross did Wonder Woman in Kingdom Come. It was just like kind of like the 2-piece skirt. It was like in the front and in the back. Covered the front and the back bits. That was kind of a cool look. But anyway, doesn't matter. We're not doing a skirt.
Fuck the skirt.
Yeah, but costumes change over time. I just liked the idea of it not starting with the typical swimsuit.
Yeah,
I hate wearing those swimsuits because they just right up the ass and shit.
And somebody asked earlier, is like, does she turn into a Peregrine Falcon? No. This is she's not a morpher. Her power set is essentially she's super strong, fast,
invulnerable,
hears,
and she's got eyesight and hearing. Yeah,
super eyesight and super hearing. Yeah, so. Sorry, I saw this. Go with a skirt down to the ankle. Can you imagine a prude superhero? Like,
I know somebody did talk about the complete tights thing, and for some reason that's done on dudes a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, she can fly too. Forgot about that. Yeah. Her powers are derived from. I mean, not to when you've got to. Here's the thing with when you talk about her, you got to talk about him. Her powers come from her father. Her father was the preeminent superhero of this world. His name is Silver Falcon.
He's the Superman of their world. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the Superman of their world, and so pretty much any power that he has, she has, and she might have bonus powers considering she also has a superpowered mother who had different set of powers. So yes, she absolutely can fly. No, she doesn't turn into a Peregrine Falcon, but she's fast. She's very fast.
She does fly, so yeah.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we got this one, and then Farrah had some questions, which I thought was kind of cute in the way that it was.
Well, and she's showing you exactly what you want to see from somebody who's, she's asking those good questions so that she can make a better product. Is this metallic? And what's the texture? She wants it. She wants more direction from us so she can give us what we want. And so these are her notes. She on a temporary kind of placeholder background, which I like, but it probably won't be the background that we end up going with.
Yeah.
For this one.
So and honestly, when she did this, it also gave us a chance to like work in our, some of the new the ideas that came from the poll, chat and things like that. So, like, please give me a guide. So should the gloves be metal? Is this metal white? Things like that. Is this metal talking about her? I guess you say top,
like a metallic, yeah, like a
metallic. Should this be yellow or is it gold? I think we decided on gold.
Yep.
Yeah, and then was basically what texture is this? And we kind of going. It was like a leather texture right here, not
like a synthetic leather. Yeah.
But it would look like
just to look like a leather.
And then is this is gold color, et cetera, et cetera. So, honestly, that's what a good colorist would ask, to make sure we're on the right path, kind of thing. So now we can look at Pipper's notes.
So Mo Big Ags, would her long hair get in her face when she flies? Well, I think if we're being, of course this is a comic book, so it'll never get in her face. But if in reality, I think when you fly, it would just go back. It would it wouldn't come forward into your face. Yeah.
He's stuck on that because I said that freaking sports shorts are way more comfortable than a one-piece swimsuit. He's stuck on we're being practical.
Chrome side boob, that is absolutely, well, it's not chrome. We decided that's like a textured gray.
Yeah.
Like built up material, whereas the white in the center is not sheer, but it's like much more thin, spandexy kind of. Right.
Make it chrome.
See, I think Mo is kind of trolling.
Yeah.
Now he's saying also pink hair would match.
She should tattoo untouched by men. As far as I know, she been touched.
Oh yeah.
She
ain't no innocent.
That's one of the things I like about her. I mean, she's a modern girl. I mean, she's grown up with all the things that any college kid nowadays grown up with, and she's been around the block. And it's like we were talking about earlier today. The things that kids are exposed to at a much earlier age nowadays. Hell, I mean, if we had to, I just don't know how they do it because we sure as hell didn't have to put up with what our kids are going through these days. So, and then on top of that, I mean, her mom died when she was younger. She's estranged from her father for several years. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, she's got some issues.
Yeah.
And
like the rest of us, but the thing is, here's the thing. You can tell that story where superheroes do have human issues, but the whole point of being a hero or even a superhero is overcoming
it. That's exactly right.
And not making it the entire,
not being ground down into the minutia of it.
Well, I mean, let's be honest. She's not neurotic. She's not going to be some person who is just incapacitated by her the weight of her guilt or the weight of her background or something like that. No, she overcomes it. She lives her life. She's not a coddled victim.
Right. I mean, and granted, and one of the things, and not trying to give too much story away, but she was a rebel.
So yeah, I was gonna say we to get back on topic, we listened to some of the complaints or suggestions, one of which was too much pink.
Yeah.
I agreed that it should be sprinkled in there more like a sprinkle.
Yeah.
Than
a sprinkle.
Taking up,
sprinkle, not a taking up too much.
Not taking up too much of the eye. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was a little too much yellow, and I agreed there too.
Yeah.
So that's why I said make the yellow gold and make there less of it.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
as you can see here, this is something Piper put together this afternoon to kind of give Farah a guide on what we want to see. One thing, we're changing the talons from that color to back to the gray that's like here. Of course, it'll be textured and stuff like that. And I say talons; they're not really they're decoration. They're not really functional.
Yeah, they're
Kind of like Captain America has those cuff. Back in the day, he had those like cuff boots. That like had the overhangs on them and stuff like that. I forgot exactly what you call them, but they really weren't functional. They were just there to look cool.
Yeah. No, I know exactly the pirate boots or whatever.
Yeah, like pirate boots. Yeah. And then of course, giving her a because I was asking, should this be brown or gray? We're going to go with a darker gray, and just see how it looks, and we can always change it.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, that's white leather, like because this is a glove.
Yeah.
We do have questions.
Well, okay.
Because it was a Q&A.
Is she Luke Cage strong or Superman?
Superman strong, yeah.
Yeah, she is. She is a heavy hitter.
But not like Superman though, where there's absolutely no where Superman gets boring.
Yeah.
So like I always thought of her not as like lifting 100 tons over her head. I always saw her lifting her maybe 50 tons over her head. Like maybe that's kind of like the limit, where her limit is. Like I remember in the Spider-Man is always shown being able to, like in the old Marvel role-playing game, he was designed being able to lift 80 tons. And while that was not as strong as the Hulk or Thor, it's still really damn strong,
Yeah.
And there's I think she was taught at an early age to really control herself, and her father taught her to control her powers, not only to use them, but so she can just be normal, and so she doesn't hurt people and damage the world around her. And so she's become so much of that I think she hasn't really explored how strong she really is.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I think considering how much I know Micah, and I know he's very protective of his properties, that's a pretty awesome, thing to say.
Hey, Micah, I can tell you right now, the whole idea with developing a classic superhero is to exist in a world with other classic superheroes, and man, I think that would be awesome to see some crossover potential.
I like this one. This is a good point. I don't think a regular dude could date a woman that strong. Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, that's a very good question. We kind of we crudely talked about that this afternoon. I thought.
Yeah, he may be inadequate for her needs.
Yeah. Where was what's this other one? Oh yeah, here we go. This one on the don't need no man scale. Is she a 10? She's not afraid of a relationship in that regard, right? She's not like
I was gonna say mentality wise, she's not a
I would say she would love to meet somebody who met her needs, not just mentally, but also emotionally and physically. But she's been frustrated in that department, so we don't really explore that in this story, but that's definite fodder for the future.
Yeah, and I would say physical wise, well, yeah, she can do whatever it is she needs to do. I'm assuming.
His colorist is down for too. So hey, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. Cool. This, to take it aside here, this is what Comic Skate is about right here. Picking existing properties and things that everybody's coming with, working together, making so everybody can get a hand up and get a leg out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? This is what it's all about right here. This is.
I would love to see what his colorist does with it too.
Yeah,
seeing different people doing. Like your stuff is just really freaking cool already.
Yeah. So that's another thing. We were talking about doing cards. So, I mean, we're not ready. We're not at that point yet. But if there's anybody out there with some art ability who would be interested in showing us their take on Peregrine, and kind of putting their hat in the ring to be part of some other artistic endeavors with her would be awesome. And we would definitely promote the hell out of you for helping promote the hell out of our girl.
Yep. And see, and then one big happy superhero family. That's good. Was she? Here we go. You are.
She doesn't need her thighs. She can use her palm of her hand. Actually, she could probably
let it be my head.
if we just had the boys moment, couldn't you see her smacking somebody just like a total asshole, smacking him so hard that it essentially just pulverizes his head, and her hand just keeps passing through it as if it were air.
I know that the crushing them with her thighs thing is hotter though.
Yeah.
Not really.
This is a good question. Does she have a weakness, i.e., weak to Peregrine?
No.
That's what I was trying to say about how she's not Superman. She's just like the Superman of that equivalent of that world.
Yeah, the power levels in this world are not the same as like the DC universe. It's more Marvel kind of power levels. I always thought her as being kind of like, Miss Marvel, Rogue, that kind of.
It's like one of those things. Let me. This is the perspective I always look at. Whereas, like you said, you mentioned Rogue, you mentioned Spider-Man earlier, right? Say, okay, Spider-Man can do X, right? And that's, but what you said was that's his absolute physical exertion, right?
Yeah,
his absolute. I'm pushing giving this everything I've got. If I don't, people die. You say, I could say, Jess could lift the 50 tons you're talking about pretty easy.
Yeah, but
at physical exertion, where she actually has to try, she could probably go beyond that. But how often is she going to have to do that? That's going to be a good question.
Well, basically, that's right. It might not be a weakness per se. It's just she's not invincible. There is a limit. All the characters have their limits. Some of them technically do have weaknesses just because of how they are. I can't think of one that would be.
I'm going to relate this to wrestling a little bit, if you don't mind. Go watch, even though it was a bad match. Though it was a bad match considering because both guys are kind of like had the same kind of style of wrestling, so it didn't work out too well. Go and watch Hulk Hogan versus the Ultimate Warrior from WrestleMania. And the reason I say that is the story that was told in that match is these guys are superhuman, quote unquote, right? And they both went to, as they said, beyond the point of exhaustion. And they were just tired at the end, right? So what is her weakness? Well, I mean, she's not like invulnerable to like a mind power or anything like that. I mean, she's not like Juggernaut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you people.
She would be vulnerable to asymmetric threats. Now, so what does that mean? Well, she's a human. She's emotional, just like you and I. She gets angry. She can be manipulated. We see a little bit of that in this story. I mean, there is. So it's kind of like America, right? America is the most powerful, dominant power in the world. That being said, American soldiers died to the hands of, peasant rebels throughout or insurgents throughout the Afghan and Iraq wars. That wasn't because that they were so much stronger. It's just they found an asymmetric way to hit us. And so her enemy in this book has to use other methods and attack from asymmetric points of view.
It's like, what is her level of invulnerability? Knife gun, machine gun, rocket launcher, tank, ballistic missile, nuke.
Yes.
What can she survive?
Tank would start to really hurt, but I don't think that would, it would still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that would. That would make her think about it. Ballistic missile would be. That was
a ballistic
screen. Kind of hurt a little bit there. Oh, ow!
So, so the difference is it's like an explosion wouldn't really affect her, because if you guys know anything about explosions,
It's pressure.
they just kind of it's pressure, and it just goes around things. Like, so she would just be a very invulnerable thing, and it would just go around her, and it wouldn't, it may damage her costume, but it wouldn't damage her. So I'm just saying, but like a tank, right? Like, so a kinetic penetrator that's designed to put all of its force in one little spot so it can punch through armor. Now that would give her a bruise. It might even break some bones, but even that, I mean, that just kind of gives you an idea of how in my head her powers are.
And then there's she's still got to breathe though. Well, she can go into space, but maybe with an apparatus she can go into space though.
We hint to that.
Yeah, we hint to that.
Yeah, I'd say she's still got to breathe though.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she's not just completely. She's just inhumanly tough.
Yeah,
for sure.
I would say it's significantly different than ours. So I mean, she would probably be able to hold her breath for hours at a time. But that's more of a limit.
And I would also say pressures and thing. I mean, you're talking about some guy who's like really, 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 really fast and stuff. So G-forces, pressures, things like that wouldn't bother her as much. I look at it. You remember how Thing was?
Yeah, it goes to the invulnerability piece.
Yeah. What is her top speed? I can't give a speed right now. But I will say, as this story opens, she will be considered at that moment the fastest person on the earth. And that's just because of other things that have happened in the background that we will get to in another story. So, but she is very, very fast.
Yeah, but we don't have, even our speedsters are more like, Quicksilver more so than like the Flash. It's that power level is completely different.
Well, we're going to play with that a little bit. I kind of need them to be fast. We'll play with that. We'll see what happens.
All right.
Yeah. There, how there might be certain characters that invent things that make things go haywire. If you know what I mean.
Hey man, it's far be it for me to limit anybody's imagination.
It's always the mad scientist who does something to break down barriers of.
But here's one thing to keep in mind. So we think about these powers like, oh well, she can do this. She's invulnerable, or she's fast. Well, in order for her to be able to operate fast, and to fly fast, and to be able to take things in as she moves quickly. I think her brain operates at a faster, essentially clock speed than the average brain does. For instance, the reason. Well, yeah. Right, that's exactly right. So, for instance, a fly, right? A fly, the brain actually operates quicker. Its response time operates in a quicker scale as far as hertz per second or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so that's why, it's almost impossible to hit a fly no matter how fast you are, because it will always see it faster than you can, move it.
Yeah.
Well, sure. Her brain is like that too. It's like if you tried to punch her, she, like a regular person tries to punch her without that kind of enhanced perception and kind of just a faster thought, speed of thought, then she would just never be where your fist was going, because she would be able to see your fist coming and move out of the way. Does that make sense? I mean, so this is a kind of a holistic thing that you would just have to have in order to be able to operate with any of the other stuff that she has. So
Perth Comics asked, how does she shave her armpit hair? Oh God.
Carefully.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I would say that the things like hair wouldn't be that much different than people. I mean, it would be stronger, but that ultimately.
I mean, instead of like a regular quote razor blade or anything like that. It might have to be diamond cut, something to a razor. And remember, I always, you got to remember this one, guys. Superheroes.
Don't worry about that shit.
Yeah. Like I saw somebody like talking about their, what her feelings in the sun,
So, like the one of the things I loved about Marvel comics in the old days was that don't look for an opportunity to sharpshoot our story. Look for an opportunity to explain our story. The whole idea of a no prize. We don't make mistakes. You just have to figure out a way to where what we put in the story makes sense. Because that's the whole point. I mean, nobody's here to break down barriers. We're all here just to kind of have a good time, and to put stories out there that look great. And then, so anyway, I mean, that's the kind of, so you kind of go with us. And if you see a hole in things, then, help us explain it then, because we're only human. It's the superhero that's super.
Yeah. How high is her WoW science level? Well, she's going to be like best friends with a super genius. So I think she'll have to, considering.
If you want to be in my friendship, you got to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, like I said, somebody said if her clothes aren't invulnerable, they should blow up when she moves fast. Okay, look.
Okay, look.
I don't want.
I know you're on my side here.
Don't give nothing away.
I'm just saying, like, just
don't overthink it.
Yeah, don't overthink it. Like, if I gotta say, without coming up with a better term, if I gotta say unstable molecules and unstable molecules, okay.
I was about to say, it's called comic book logic. Try to have fun.
Captain Fuckhead, I'm with you, man. I'm out of here too.
Secret identity. Yes, she does have a secret identity. That's true. Yeah.
I don't know. So the way that's secret. Right. So she's more unknown than she is secret. I mean, so she was never a hero growing up, but her dad was the biggest hero in the world. And it's kind of like, how none of you guys probably know anything about Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt's kids, and if they decide to just stay civilians, then you probably never will know about them. So they are obscured by the fact that they're just not in the public eye. Now, there is always some weirdo that's able to track people like that down, but still, until she comes out as Peregrine, she has a public identity and she just wants to be a normal person. And then, of course, this is her costume. And, I always, the whole Clark Kent and Superman thing, I don't know. I never got that. I mean, you can see her face. I mean, humans are designed to recognize faces. So I mean, once she comes out,
we have media that would be all over this stuff. So
yeah,
it's kind of hard to keep that identity, at least her specifically, secret.
Well, there's another character that has a secret identity in our comic, and he's able to do it, pretty effectively. And we see him both in his secret identity and out of his, in his alter ego as a hero. So, and he's another pretty big character in this.
I just wanted to know if she was dealt with like Soups or talked to a gargoyle like Spidey. That's the thing. It's different. It's not like that. Like, she's not antisocial. It's just not like she doesn't know how to, interact with human beings or anything like that. She relates to these people because she's, instead of like, how Superman, like, I live among them kind of thing. She is one of them. That's the way she's always seen it. She don't think she's different in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, she just wants to be a normal person. I mean, and she's living a very normal life for the last, say 5 years before the
problem.
So she's so she's able to live that life, and then the world goes through a catastrophe, kind of like what we're going through right now, and she kind of hunkers in place during that. And then when they come out of the catastrophe, that's when we kind of open into the beginning of our story. So.
What? Deltasburg Force? Did you find my shirt? Already?
I mean, he's the Deltasburg Force.
Man, I thought this one would be. Who the fuck is. Oh, god damn it, cat! Fuck. Fucking
Did the cat send your docs out?
No, the cat just barfed where I sleep.
Gross.
Not just on the bed, but right next to my pillow.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're fucking disgusting!
On that note, but I did want to like just finish up what we were talking about here, where we're taking. This is the biggest down here was like a big suggestion from the comment section because I want to kind of close out for tonight. This is going to change to white right here.
The boot.
Yeah, the boot. This is going to become gray. This will become pink. And this is going to go metallic, go gold metallic. So, we took into account what people wanted.
And also, this is a darker. This isn't as pastel as the pink was.
Yeah,
that's because of the talk about the pink. I do like having a color like that to break up all the more earthy tones,
right?
To kind of break them up in there. But it is a darker pink, and we are tweaking it now so that there is less of it.
Oh.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Ooh. Well, we have a...
We'll talk about that on Discord, brother. I got to find out what's going on there. But for now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and leave that list here. It was great, everybody, to go over this stuff with you, and I want to like try to make it like a weekly thing, even during the campaign, to talk about like this, talk about what we're doing, talk about where we're at, and all that good stuff. I'm hoping by the next time, maybe tomorrow, we'll see that we will have some updated stuff for you to check out. So until then, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't mind, go check out Mandy Summers' channel. She is got Antonio Bryce on, and he's going to be talking about brand, and he might be doing this.
Ah! I'll say one thing just for Mo Biggs.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to make the shorter, man. I tried. I got vetoed, but I tried.
Just wait until you see the. I'm just saying, y'all just wait.
They're complaining about it. I'm like, I tried to skim a little more off of it.
Don't worry about them. But
they don't even know what panties look like.
Well, as it turns
I'm wondering
out,
if they've seen any.
Micah doesn't have anything to worry about because his creation, Danglewood, is a legal porn parody of.
Oh, okay. I like his Danglewood. That's pretty good.
Danglewood.
Yeah. Make like see.
I did Mo Biggs. Like I said.
Yeah, we've been listening to the fans all week. Where were you? Where are you on Twitter? Make a Twitter
account. 280 of them voted in the poll.
Yep.
I'm just assuming Mo Biggs hasn't seen actual women's underwear before.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all so much for going. Like I said, go check out check out Mandy Summers' channel. She's gonna have Antonio Bryce, and I forgot who the other person is. But anyway, go check her out. We will see y'all later. Y'all have a good one and take care.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Man, Peter Gilmore's me